Well, it's very sad for a lot of plot holders today because we've had a break-in and there's quite a few sheds have been broken into, including ours. They forced the piece that was here off, and they left the lock intact. Look on the bright side, we can reuse the lock. Oh, I'm laughing about it because you got to, haven't you? They've stolen Doug's power saw. He doesn't normally leave it in the shed, but he's been using it a lot lately, and it was left here overnight, and they've taken that, and I think he paid about £80 for it, and to order one now they've gone up again as £89. So a lot of money to replace, and it's a handy tool. Lesson learned. And the trouble is, when it's so safe like that, you can get a bit complacent, can't you? It could have been a lot worse, I think. So we're not going to dwell on it. We're just going to learn from it and make sure we don't leave any power tools in the shed. I think that's what they were looking for. They were looking for power tools. We've had a walk round, myself and Danny, and we can't see any signs where they would have got in. So, don't know if they got in. It's a mystery to us. Like I said, just learn from it, learn our lesson, not to leave any power tools in the shed whatsoever, ever again. And I think we've learned that lesson. There you go. It's not going to spoil our enjoyment of the allotment. We're still going to enjoy it. And that's it. That's just my piece for today. That's all I'm going to say about it. We got to move on, and we got to get back to normal and carry on enjoying the allotment. Anyway, let's move on. I've been busy here today, finishing off digging this, getting rid of the bindweed and all the perennial weeds. And I went down and I've got some well-rotted bark, and I've raked all that in as well. So on the top here now, I've got a couple of bags of manure compost. So I'm going to put that there, and I've got some wildflower seeds and some cottage garden seeds. So I'm just going to sprinkle all those over. I've also got a few extra packets of poppies and bits and bobs. I'm just going to sprinkle those over, rake them in, and let the rain do its job. I've got some net, some old net in the shed there, which I think would be a good idea to put on the top so the birds don't go eating the seeds. So let's get on with that before it starts raining again. We had a good downpour earlier on, so I went in the shed and had a cuppa. As you do. Right. Oh yeah, nice sharp scissors. These bags of compost, I put them there weeks ago. In fact, I started that bed weeks ago. You might have seen my video. I'm only just finishing it. Never mind, doing other jobs, haven't we? Oh, keeps us fit, all this gardening, doesn't it? Oh, worms and all in this. Worms and all in that compost. Good sign, that. I'm going to do the wildflower mix first. Oh, it's blowing all over the place. I think I should go over this side. It's blowing down that way. That's one box. It says there, shake, rake and water. So this is the wildlife mixture. Right, that's that. And we've got some Welsh poppy seeds there. Welsh poppies are yellow and they're really pretty, they are. So what I'm going to do, because they're quite low growing, I'm going to put those nearest the path. Right, so that's the Welsh poppies, Aquilegia. Right, I've got quite a few of those. I like this bit. I've been dying to do these seeds for ages. Now, these are poppy seed heads. I think these are the bigger poppies. Anyway, that's the seeds. Right, let's give them a quick rake in now. This soil is quite moist with all the rain. So hopefully with a drop of rain on there as well, should help them to germinate. There's some bits of wood over there, so I might use those to weigh it down. These are the nets we took off the beds the other day. And I took them home and washed them. So they're cleanish anyway. They're not perfect, but a lot cleaner than they were, that's for sure. They're not the best quality nets, these, but they'll do the job. They'll do for this anyway. So there we are, the wildflower seed bed, all sown and ready for the rain to do their job. There was a load of this green weed membrane that Doug has been digging up while he's been doing the beds for the potatoes. And I've already made a start of picking off weeds and bindweed. I was going to take it home and wash it, but I thought I'm not going to do that because not at the moment anyway. Amongst it, bindweed. So I'll just pick off as much as I can. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold it up and put it in the empty compost bin that we've got around the corner at the side of the polytunnel. And if we do need it, I think I'll wash it then. I'm not bothering now. I'm not bothering now. I got enough to be getting on with, and I don't want to take this dirty old thing home in my car. My car's dirty enough as it is. And that's just from taking home the bindweed and bringing bags of compost down and that sort of thing. And then this will look a little bit tidier. I've still got all these twigs on here. Still undecided what to do. Might use them for the peas actually. So later on we're going to sort all this out. This was an old compost bin. There could be some nice soil in there. Could be full of bindweed, probably full of bindweed, but we'll see. Job for another day. We've got plenty to be going on with. And I'm really late sowing a lot of my seeds. So I'm hoping to do a little bit of that today. We'll see how it goes. While it's dry, I want to do the outdoor jobs because we're not getting enough of this dry weather at the moment, are we really? The only thing with this green weed membrane, it's got loads of these fibres when you cut it. And Doug's been digging up loads of those as well. So he's not convinced about reusing this, but I'm going to hang on to it just in case. If not, we'll pass it on. Somebody might be glad of it on the allotments. I tell you what, if you could sell bindweed, we'd make a fortune. I'm putting in a wheelbarrow because it'll be easier to carry to the other plot. Well, easier to wheel to the other plot rather than carry it. Here comes the rain. Right, let's get this on the other plot. Get some indoor jobs done. Right, let's go and put the wheelbarrow back a minute and head indoors. I'm going to be removing these from the polytunnel because I don't have access with this entrance at the moment. We keep going around the back way, but being as it's raining, I thought it better to remove these so I've not got far to go back and forth the shed to the polytunnel. So let's give that a go then. Oh, heavy. We put these on there when we were having all that wind to try and protect the polytunnel. It seems to have worked, especially since I sewed it with the elastic. Pink daffodils, not. Pouring down now. I'm going to go inside the shed and have a cuppa and sort out my seeds. What do you think of this idea? I bought a shower curtain liner, a clear one, and I put some elastic through at the top and some rings that we had in the shed. And because I didn't have any shower curtain rings basically. And it goes all the way down to the floor. Now I've got that part there outside so that the rain doesn't drip into the shed. And it allows more light into the shed when I'm having a cuppa, and I can look out and admire the view. Well, this weather's horrendous, isn't it? I bet you can hear that. The rain is absolutely pouring down. So I've been sat in the shed having a cuppa and sorting out my seeds, and I've got 15 lots to plant. And what I'm going to plant is, I've prepared all the soil ready, I've watered it, so all I got to do now is put the seeds in. So I've got organic cauliflower, Skywalker F1, lemon bergamot seeds. Lisa kindly gave me those, thanks Lisa. Right, so that's those. Now, sunflowers. My sunflowers, where did I put them? Oh, right, by here. The sunflowers are starting to germinate. Now, these ones are the giant singles, these sunflowers. They're starting to germinate, so I'm going to need to pop those on soon. The other sunflowers, called taller sunflower, no sign of those yet. So the sunflowers I'm going to plant today are Russian Giant. There's a pack here with all different varieties. There's 6 different varieties on there. I'm not going to plant the other ones today. In fact, I might plant the other ones outdoors another day. But I'm going to do the Russian Giant ones today. That's the ones on the bottom by there. Broad beans. I haven't sown my broad beans yet, so I'm going to be doing those today. And now, I did plant some red peppers, but they haven't surfaced yet. There's no sign of them at all. When did I do those? March the 4th. And we're now in April. No sign. So whether they're going to come up or not, I don't know. So these seeds were collected from the supermarket in October. So I'm going to try those. And we've got some, oh, that's a thought. These are broad beans as well. I don't think I've got a label for those, have I? Broad beans, imperial green and long pod. So in fact I might do some of these and some of the other ones. Brussels sprouts. I haven't started those yet, so need to get those going. Greyhound cabbage. I'm well behind with these. Onions, Bedfordshire Champion. A lot of people started Boxing Day. Here we are in April and I still haven't done them. Never mind. We got loads outside growing, so there was no rush really. So I've never grown onions from seed, so I'm looking forward to doing those. Mixed lettuce. These are salad bowl red and green mix. And beetroot. So need to get on with those. Now I'm definitely going to put the sunflowers in this. This is an empty cake container, and actually was one that Danny had bought, and we had a nice bit of cake and a cup of tea on his plot the other day, and he gave me a slice to bring home. So I kept the container, and I think that one there will be nice and deep to start the sunflowers off, and comes with a propagating lid. So that's going to be the sunflowers, if I can find the label for that. Yep. So if I put the labels in ready, I'll know what's going where. Right, put the seeds on the surface. There's the red peppers. They're all sown quite thickly, actually. Much more thickly than you need to put them, really. But I'm trying to take up less space. That's sweet basil, carrots, then nant 5 carrots, wild garlic. So a couple of additions that I didn't mention previously, but I had some spare containers, so I thought, there's the sunflowers. Now those ones are the Russian giant sunflowers. Obviously when they come up I need to pot those on. The organic Brussels sprouts, and also some in there as well, because we do love our sprouts. Then behind that we've got the organic Skywalker cauliflower. There, that's an addition as well. Aquilegia Biedermeier, is it? Is that how you pronounce it? Lemon bergamot. We've got hollyhocks, giant single. We've got delphiniums. We've got Bedfordshire champion onions in there, and we've got greyhound cabbage in that one. Right, so I'm going to give them a light dusting of compost. It's easier to do when they're closer together, the seed trays, so you don't lose so much over the sides. And what you do lose over the sides goes on to the next container. So I'll just push it down slightly, and then I will give it another little watering then afterwards. Carrots, sweet basil, and the red pepper. I think I've probably got just enough to cover these. And what I'll do with the sunflowers, I think I'll just poke those in, to be honest. Just give them all a little bit of a watering now. Looks like I'm putting loads on here, but it'll all help with the germination process, and there are holes in the bottom, so the excess I'll leak out. Right, I found some seed trays for the broad beans, so I've got some in there now. I know you think I look ridiculous, but it's practical. There's loads of drippers coming off the polytunnel, so I thought I'd stop them going on my head. So I put this head umbrella on. So as I was saying, broad bean, the imperial green long pod are in there. So there's 18 in there, and the Bunyard exhibition, I've got 18 in there. I've got loads of seeds left over, so I'll plant some more another day. So at least I've got some done today, especially being as I put the date and all on the label. Right, so I'm just going to poke them in really and cover them over. I think that's the easiest to do. I've already given them a good soaking, so I won't need to re-water them. nice and easy. There's a few plot holders and they're broad beans and they're up like this, and I'm only just starting mine. Have you started your broad beans yet? I bet yours are up nicely as well, aren't they? Never mind, if you haven't, it doesn't matter, it's not too late. They're flimsy, so I put them in. These are propagating lids. They're supposed to go on the top, but I put them underneath to give the trays extra support. It was beautiful this morning, and then this afternoon, it's been absolutely bucketing down. Never mind. I sat in the shed with a cuppa and sorted out my seeds, and now I've managed to plant a good few. Sometimes you need some rainy days to get in your polytunnel, don't you? Cheryl kindly gave us some pea plants, and I've been counting them, there's about 30 there. So thanks for that, Cheryl. And Cheryl is our plot neighbour on the plot over there, next to the plot 1 Feel Good Garden. So what we're planning to do is to put these in this corner up here. There's like a triangle here. Doug's already planted the early potatoes, so we've got this little triangle left. So the peas will be going there. So I've got a use. If you remember this old compost bin, let me show you around here. This old compost bin that was on plot number 2, when I cut down the tree that was down there, and I'm trying to think, it can't be just from one tree, can it? Anyway, we've got all these tree prunings, and I thought they'd make ideal pea sticks. So what I'm going to do is just trim them down. Right, there's the finished results of the pea structure. So there we are. There's plenty of room for the peas to climb up now. And there we have it, the pea structure. So all that needs doing now is to plant the peas. Now these peas, Cheryl said they're called spring peas, or on the other side is meteor. She's not sure which ones they are. So they're either spring peas or meteor. So I'm not sure how tall they're going to grow, but doesn't matter. If they decide to get to there, it doesn't matter. And there we have the peas all planted up. So next thing to do now is to put some netting around here. That's the first lot of peas, all planted and netted up. I'm Linda, and this is the Feel Good Garden.